Are you looking into becoming a sales agent? Well, then look no further, because in this video, we will be going over what the first 3 months of a sales agent was like for me. Alright, so first off, as a major con is it is mentally tough to be in this industry. Every day you need to go and do cold calls, emails, going in person to places just to get the same answer every single time, and you get rejected. It is very mentally draining to have to deal with that. And sometimes even worse reactions can come from this. I mean, the other day I was out prospecting with my coworker, and this lady, we went in there, we had gone in there maybe 2 other times, and she basically said, yelled at us and said, "We're not interested, F off." I was like, whoa! And it really caught me off guard, and it's like, you gotta be able to shrug those off and keep going. This then causes burnout, which means you don't want to go out and do those calls. You get very burnt out about doing the same thing over and over again and getting the same answer, which makes it very hard to stay, motivated to go out and do that. So it can be hard to get good pay then, because, you're paid for what you do. So if you aren't out doing the job because you're burnt out on it, you're not going to get paid much. Secondly, the pay is very inconsistent. Now, most sales jobs, some might pay you a salary for the first 3 years like my dad's company did, but for me, it was 100% commission right off the bat, which means I didn't get paid unless I generated new business for the company, which is really hard, especially when you're just starting out. Not only is it hard to get that money, but it also makes that pay very inconsistent, because you only get paid when you generate business. So what happens when you don't generate any business for the month, and you still have to pay rent, you still have to pay utilities, you still have all these bills that you need to pay? What do you do then? Because you don't have any money coming in, because maybe you didn't work hard enough that month. And so that is why I said inconsistent pay, because typically it's hard to get consistent pay. And finally, the biggest issue in my opinion is you have to be self-accountable. In this job, like I said, it is directly tied, the money that you make is directly tied to how much work you put in, which means if you're working on your own, sort of like how I am, where I'm just going out to places near me, I need to be very self-accountable. I need to be able to tell myself, I'm going to do this day and stick to that, and, be able to do that every single day. And if you're not able to do that, it's going to be really hard, because you're not going to have somebody looking over your shoulder telling you what to do and what not to do. If you lack accountability, don't even bother trying to get into sales, because if you don't, you will fail. You honestly will fail. You need to have self-accountability, or else you're just not going to be making any money. And if you don't make money, you fail, the business fails, so why would they ever want to hire you? And you would have just wasted your time. So you better have some sort of plan in place to keep yourself accountable to do the work that you need to do. That way you can at least get some money coming in, and you can also kind of stay afloat while you're getting started. Now, many of these cons can actually be what makes you successful in this business. For example, it being a mentally hard job can actually be a pretty big, pro for being a sales agent. Because if you can persevere through that hard time and all those rejections, it'll help you in your own life, honestly. And if you can persevere through it, then you can make money, and this thing has exponential type of value. If you can start off, the first few years always are the most, hardest time. But if you can persevere through that, it'll grow exponentially, and you could make millions of dollars. I'm being completely honest. You could make millions of dollars. And then also, because of it being mentally hard, it actually increases the demand for the job. Because if there is harder, if it's a hard job, not many people are going to be able to fill that. So if you are one of the few people that knows that you like a challenge and can do that, this is going to be perfect for you, because you're never going to get laid off, and they're always going to need you, which means you probably could also get some good bonuses as well. Another big pro is you actually get paid very well when you do get paid. The pay is extremely good whenever you generate new business for the company. Now, you may get split in on old business or service other people's accounts, and that is completely fine. But when you generate new business for the company, it will actually get you even more commission typically. At least it is for my job. I don't know how it is for all other sales jobs, but for my job, it is better for me to get new business for the company. But then that also makes it very incentivized for me to go out and get new business every day. This also helps motivate your employees to do more. Like if you're a sales agent and you are getting paid a very nice commission on every single thing that you bring in, of course you're going to want to keep going. So it is very inconsistent pay, but the times when you do get paid almost kind of makes up for those times that are inconsistent, because it is a great amount of money. And then also, like I said earlier, this pay is directly correlated to how much work you put in. So if you put in a lot of work throughout the first 5 years, it might see a little bit of, increase, and it might be really hard in those first 5 years. But then after that, it'll just keep going up and up and up, and it makes it so much better, and it makes you actually want to do this job because the pay is very good. You just got to stick it out for the first few years, and then once you get solid footing and a solid contact book, it'll go through the roof. And then finally, the last pro I have for you guys is the self-accountability. This can be a great pro because if you are able to keep yourself motivated and grind and do your work that you need to do, you will be more than fairly compensated for it. Also, if you are able to keep yourself accountable, your company will see this, and they will honestly be more willing to give you bonus chances or bonus opportunities, as well as help you qualify for more trips. And then finally, this is also just a really good lesson to learn in life in general. Being able to learn how to keep yourself accountable and disciplined in your craft, it is extremely important that you learn that in any field, no matter what. So I feel like sales is a really good character builder, no matter what, even if you can't make a career out of it. All in all, sales is a very important skill to learn, no matter what industry you are in. So I would highly recommend that you become a sales agent. And if you are looking to become a sales agent, my company that I work for, Aflac, is always hiring. Thank you guys for watching, and God bless.